Hello. So today, we're going to do, or I'm going to do, um, a 45-minute floor yoga practice. Sorry, my words aren't coming because it's kind of early. You don't need any kind of props or anything like that. We're just going to do some basic yoga poses, sort of focus on our low backs. Most people I know have low back issues. Every day we wake up stiff and this and that. And so this practice will help you to kind of loosen up and get ready for the day. And I am going to be playing music. I haven't been doing that because in the past the music didn't quite come through. But if you hear something in the background that sounds kind of weird, that's all it is. I'm just playing some music. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start on our backs with our feet on the floor and our knees up. All right. These first few minutes can make or break your whole practice. So you want to take your time and really get settled. I like to make sure I'm right in the center of my mat. And one way to do that is to walk your feet out to the edges of your mat and then notice how your spine feels when you do that. So you want your spine to feel like it's directly down the center of your mat. And then walk your feet back in line with your hips. And it helps me to put my hands right here underneath my ribs, very bottoms of my ribs, and kind of off to the sides so that I can really connect with my own breath. You can close your eyes if you like. And even though this is one of the most important parts of your practice, sometimes it can be a little bit challenging because it's right now that we're letting go of everything outside of the space that we're in. We're giving ourselves permission to just be right here, right now, with each breath. Feel the expansion and contraction of your torso as you breathe in and out. And now let's take 3 more mindful breaths before we start to move. And then when you feel ready to move, bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. And we're just going to start with some gentle windshield wipers, just moving your legs side to side. And this doesn't need to be a big movement. We're just checking out our hips, noticing how our hips feel, noticing how our low backs feel. All these muscles here are connected. They influence each other. We're just starting to wake up all around our hips and our low backs. You can inhale as your legs come up and exhale as your legs come down. Keeping your breath at the center of your movement. And let's go one more time to each side. And then gradually bring yourself back to neutral. And I always find that I need to lift and lower my tailbone so that everything comes right back into center, into that neutral position. And now bring your right knee up towards your chest. This is where a yoga strap helps. We're not using that today, but if you like, you can always have your strap nearby, using the strap to pull your leg up just a little bit. Again, just this kind of a small little stretch here. We're not going big yet. And stretch your leg up into the air and flex your foot. I like to do very basic yoga. I try not to do anything too complicated, just because we don't need that. We have enough complications in our lives. So something basic and kind of easy to remember is important. Okay, so now we can make some circles with the right foot. It's nice and slow, warming up your ankle. And if you've done this with me before, all of this is going to be familiar. I'm not trying to do anything new today. Reverse your circles. And then come back to neutral and flex your foot. Press your toes toward your shin. And now release your right foot back down, and we'll repeat on the left side. Bringing your left knee up toward your chest and hold on lightly. We're not pulling the knee in, we're just kind of starting to stretch. Okay, and again, stretch your left leg up into the air and flex your foot. Right away, you're going to feel a stretch going all the way down the back of your leg. I feel it pretty intensely behind my knee and again in my hamstring. So just notice where you feel this and adjust your movement any way you need to so that it's comfortable and just a little bit of effort, not too much effort. And now start to make circles with your left foot. When I'm doing this, I like to look at my feet and just say thank you to my feet because they do so much work. Where you'd be without your feet. Go ahead and reverse your circles. Right? And come back and flex your foot. Okay, go ahead and release. Left foot back down. Reposition your back. And today, this is not new. It's something that we don't do often, but we're going to do some pelvic tilts. And so you want to make sure the back of your pelvis is nice and flat on the floor. Your hands are on your hips. And sometimes we can feel the hip bones right here on the edges. Your thumbs, my thumbs are on the back. You can do it this way, or you can turn your hands this way so your thumbs are on the front. And a pelvic tilt is basically just tilting your pelvis up toward your belly. And so my low back is still on the floor, but I can feel that stretch in my low back and up in my thighs. And then release back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So when you're ready, lift your tailbone tilt your pelvis up towards your belly. Your pelvis is like a bowl. So you're tilting that bowl up towards your belly. And release. And one more time. Right, go ahead and release. Now, so that was a pelvic tilt. It may feel a little bit like bridge pose, but I'm gonna show the difference between a pelvic tilt and a bridge pose. For bridge pose, your arms are either down by your sides or out to the sides. Today, we're gonna have our arms down by our sides. Walk your heels up a little closer to your bottom. And your bridge pose is gonna be mostly focused on your thigh muscle. So press into your feet and slowly lift your back off the floor so there's space underneath your back. This is our bridge pose. So you'll feel your thigh muscles working, and you'll feel some weight coming onto your shoulders and your upper back. Breathe into it. This might be your first challenging position today. Okay, go ahead and lower down. And now we're going to bring both knees up towards our chest. Pull them into a comfortable position and rock side to side. Roll it across your low back. And come on back to neutral. Slide your hands around behind your thighs. Lift both feet up into the air and flex both feet. So when we start on our backs on the floor, we begin warming up our lower bodies. Only one or two movements we can do here for our upper bodies. We're going to do that in just a minute. So the last thing we're going to do here is open our legs up into a wide V shape. And then you'll start to feel a stretch on the insides of your thighs. Okay, bring your legs back towards each other. Bring the soles of your feet together and gently start to lower your legs down to the floor into a reclined butterfly pose. Let your legs settle, reposition your low back if you need to, and you'll still feel that stretch on your inner thighs. And this is where we're going to slide our arms up overhead. They can stay in the air or rest on the floor. So you're opening up the whole front of your body right now. All right, so now we're going to add a spinal twist here. Interlace your fingers overhead. Bring your left knee up and over to the right side. Once your lower body is settled, pull your arms over to the left side. Another big stretch. And if this bothers your low back, you get here and you think, oh, that's not comfortable, release your arms first. And then you can use one of your hands to lift your legs back up. So always take your time. If you're getting into a uncomfortable position, take your time coming out of it. Be mindful. So now we're going to switch directions. Bringing your arms back into neutral and then slowly lift your legs up and over to the left side as you bring your arms to the right side. So if you're using this video and this position here feels a little too intense for the warm up, don't do it. Save it for later. You slowly bring your arms back to neutral, your legs back to neutral. Release your arms back down by your sides and reposition your back. And then one more time, we'll bring our knees up towards our chest. Pull them in as far as you can comfortably and give yourself a hug. All right. So release your feet back down to the floor. We're going to come onto our hands and knees next. And some people can just pop up, just roll themselves up, and that's okay if it doesn't bother you, if it doesn't hurt. But the safest way to come up from this position is to roll to one side. And this is helpful if you fall. Roll to one side. Of course, there's more to that, but if you're okay and you want to try to come up, you're on one side and you're using this top arm to press yourself up, then use the other arm coming all the way up. Maybe I'll do a video on what happens when you fall. What do you do? Because there's a little more to that. Come onto your hands and knees next. And remember, we're still focusing on our low backs. So the best sequence of poses I know of for low backs is cat and cow. You can do this on your hands and knees or in a chair. So once you're on your hands and knees, tuck your tailbone and round your back. Let your head drop down. Always make sure your neck is in neutral. You never want to strain our necks because those vertebrae are very sensitive and very vulnerable. So focus on pressing your tailbone down towards the floor. And now start to lift your tailbone. And as you do, your belly will drop down, your back will start to arch. And then press your shoulder blades down your back as you lift your chest. And you're looking up a little, but not so far that you hurt your neck. So your neck is still in neutral. Push your belly down towards the floor. This is called cow pose because this is how cows look when they're in a field. Their backs are arched and their bellies hang down towards the floor. That's why it's called cow. Now we're going to do 5 cats and cows. We're going to move with our breath. Inhale as you bring your spine to neutral. Exhale as you round into cat pose. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale into cow. 4 more times. This is the last set. And then after your next cow pose, slowly bring your spine to neutral. And we're going to press back into extended child's pose. I find it helpful to make space between my knees. And then you can reach your arms out and let your torso drop down. So you're getting a nice stretch for your hips, your low back, your arms. And if this bothers your knees, don't come down so far. Find that place that feels good. Doesn't feel like you're on the edge of hurting yourself. We don't want to hurt ourselves. No pain in yoga. All right. So we're going to come back up, bring our knees underneath our hips. But this time we're going to come onto our forearms, bringing our palms together, knees under hips, neck in neutral. And then stretch your right leg back, curling your toes and pressing towards your heel, just for a calf stretch. Okay, release. And then stretch your left leg back, curling your toes and pressing towards your heel. All right, release. Now make some space between your knees. So walk your knees out into a wider stance. We're going to be moving forward and back. So this is going to stretch your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your elbows. So hips towards your heels, chin towards your thumbs, and just move at your own pace. So right now we're just checking things out. How does this feel? Where does it feel good? Where does it start to feel like too much? So we work in yoga, we work through the body to get to the mind. So our minds can sometimes trick us and think, oh, I can do more. But if you really focus on the sensations that you're creating, eventually you'll learn that you do have boundaries. Your body has boundaries. And we want to stay on the safe side of those boundaries. Now see what happens if you inhale as you come forward and exhale as you come back. And the next time your chin comes over your thumbs, pause there, check your neck, make sure your neck is in neutral, and notice that your core muscles have engaged. Your core muscles are important here. You can't do this without engaging your core. And now press your hips back towards your heels and pause there. All right, we are going to come back up onto our hands and knees. I almost always have to adjust my clothes a couple times. And then once you're on your hands and knees again, start to move your hips side to side. The next time your hips come to the right side, pause there and turn your head to the left. Okay, now let's move our hips to the left, turn our heads to the right. And now come on back to neutral. Let's see. So from here, we're going to come into a sitting position. We're going to stay on the floor today. We're not going to stand up. So this is all done on the floor. So come into a sitting position. I know this isn't the most comfortable position for some of us. I can only do this for a few minutes. I don't want to sit like this for hours. So just find the most comfortable sitting position you can. This is called easy pose. Maybe it's easy for some, but that's just what it's called. Now we're going to soothe our backs and soothe our hips with spinal rotations. So just start to make some circles with your torso and move slowly and mindfully. And then eventually see if you can inhale as you come up and exhale as you come down. In yoga, the breath is mostly through the nose, in and out through the nose. And how I like to coordinate the inhales and exhales is when you're making space, when you're open, you're inhaling. When you're constricting that space, you're exhaling. So see if that works for you. Nice and slow. Now let's go 2 more times in this direction. When you come up to neutral again, pause. Take an inhale, and then exhale and go the other way. We'll do about 8 of these. I like the numbers 3, 5, and 8. I don't know why. They go together in my head for some reason. 8 breaths is kind of a long hold. If you like to hold longer or move more, go ahead. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And honestly, I don't really count. I just have this sort of clock in my head that tells me when we're getting close to 8. So if that bothers you, make it work for yourself. Let's go 2 more times. And the next time you come up to neutral, pause again. By now your hips or your knees might be talking to you. So go ahead and straighten your legs out in front of you. It always feels good to give your hips a little rub, maybe rub around your knees, backs of your knees, up and down your legs. And now we're going to do a sitting butterfly pose. So we already did one on our backs. So let's just do one here and see if there's any new sensations. Bring the soles of your feet together. As soon as you do that, your back wants to round because your hips and your inner thighs are almost always tight. This is just part of how we're made. And so for butterfly pose to be most effective, we want to sit up tall. So purposely lift your spine, roll your shoulder blades down your back. Let your hands rest on your ankles or let your forearms rest on your knees. And then the rest is just breathing. So you may wonder, well, I thought we were working on our low backs. Well, your low back is connected to your legs. And so if your thighs and your inner thighs and your outer thighs and your hips are tight, your low back's going to be tight. So we want to work all around the low back and hips. I'm talking a lot today, I know. Some days are like that. I have a lot to say. All right. So take your hands underneath your legs, straighten your legs out, and rub your hips again. If you've ever had a massage, you know how good that feels to have someone rubbing your muscles where they're tight. So do it for yourself. Okay. So now we are going to do a spinal twist from sitting. I'm deciding what to do with my legs. Let's see. Keep your left leg stretched out. Pull your right leg in toward your chest. Make sure you're comfortable and make sure your back didn't round. Make sure you're sitting up tall still. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Keep your leg pulled in as you turn to the right. And that's it. That's your twist today. So you can see my head is moving back and forth. Your head is in neutral. Your neck is in neutral. You're feeling this in your belly, all around your ribs and your back. Low back, middle back, maybe in your hip. One more breath. And now slowly unwind yourself. Stretch your right leg out. Bring your left knee in. Sit up tall. With your right hand, hold your left knee in. Left hand comes around behind your back, and you're twisting from the waist. One more breath. And when you're ready, slowly come back to the front. You can cross your legs again, coming into easy pose. Push your chest and belly forward, arching your back. Your hands can be on your legs or behind your back. And then round your back one more time. All right. So now we're going to come back down onto our backs, and I'm going to show you kind of a modification for just laying on your back that you may or may not appreciate. You may or may not like it. And you will need a yoga block. So you don't need to do it today, but you can try it sometime. If you think about your pelvis, the front of it is a bowl, sort of shaped like this. The back of your pelvis is these two cups. It's like these two cups that sort of hold everything together. And so we want to get those two cups onto this block, not on your spine, not on your vertebra, but on the back of your pelvis. So I'm demonstrating now. You can come back to this if you like. Try it later. This is so good for your low back. So coming down onto your back, lift your tailbone, slide the block underneath the back of your pelvis, not up into your spine. You'll know because it'll hurt. It won't be comfortable. So it's as low down as you can go without falling off. So your legs are kind of in neutral. And once you get settled, relax your upper back, relax your arms. Take a few breaths. And this can be the end for you. This can be the rest of your yoga practice for today. I like to do this for a minute or two. And I'll show some other cool down poses. Just a few breaths. So we're not counting our breath here. We're just noticing how this feels. If it feels comfortable, stay here. If it doesn't, move the block, get it out of the way, and just don't worry about it today. We call this supported bridge pose. Now there's more you can do here, but we won't do that today. We'll try that another day. We've already done enough. So if you're using the block, go ahead and move it off to the side. Notice how your low back feels now. It's almost like it flattens everything out, releases tension all around your low back, around your pelvis, back of your pelvis. So our cool down poses are almost the same as our warm up poses, starting with knees to chest. I'm just going to go through a few and you choose one or two. Knees to chest, legs up, circles with your feet. You can do a butterfly pose here. I'm going through these pretty fast, so you just choose one or two. You could do a figure four from here. So in figure four, you can have your legs up in the air or one foot on the floor. If you do one side, make sure you do the other side. Windshield wipers. You can do that same spinal twist that we did in the beginning, bringing your legs to one side, bringing your arms to the other side. Again, if you do this on one side, you want to do it on the other side. Yoga is all about balance. Balancing your body. And once your body is balanced, your mind and your spirit are also balanced. Everything works together. So if you've done the twist, once you come back to neutral, reposition your back. I think that's enough. I can keep on going, telling you more, but I think that's enough choices. Once you feel satisfied with your cool down stretches, stretch your legs out. Let them kind of fall out to the sides. Let your arms fall out to the sides. And just relax. Good time to reconnect with your breath. Noticing that every time you exhale, your body softens and lets go. Now let's take a couple more mindful breaths, 2 or 3 mindful breaths. We're going to take our time, bringing our feet back up to the mat. And typically in a longer yoga class, we roll to one side and we stay there for a few breaths. We just curl up and let ourselves make the transition back to the room where we are. Might look around. And then when you're ready to actually come up into a sitting position, again, you're going to use that top arm. Press down into the floor, slowly lifting yourself up. Coming back into easy pose one more time. So everything in yoga is done mindfully. There's no random movements. We take our time, we really focus on sensations and thoughts. Sometimes those sensations trigger thoughts like, ow, that hurt, or I really don't like this. That's okay. We notice, we make adjustments if we need to, and then we let it go. So now let's rub our hands. Like you're generating heat and energy in your hands. All the work you just did is right here in your hand. Well, you're not going to hang on to it because life goes on. We can't stay in one place. Open your hands out to the sides and release that energy. And then as you inhale and reach up, you're gathering up new, soft, balanced, perfect energy and bringing it right down into your heart. And then bow forward. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Have a good afternoon or evening, wherever you are in your day today.